Hi, I'm Shelly and I've been working on renovating my 22-foot camper for about 4 months now, and I'm finally ready to show it to you because it's all done. So when I bought this camper, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with it, but I knew that I had wanted to renovate a camper for several years, and I decided, you know what, let's just do it. It's time. If you've wanted to do something for several years, you should probably just do it. So I bought this camper from a wonderful family. It is a 2001 Thor California Tahoe Lite. It's 22 feet long. It's about 3,000 pounds dry. I'm really glad to be done finally after so much work, and I'm really excited to show it to you. So without further ado, let's do it. The first area we should talk about is the kitchen, which is the funnest part of any renovation, especially camper renovations. In the kitchen, which is my pride and joy. This is the very last thing that I worked on. Just to kind of summarize what I did, I first painted everything white. I made this countertop out of a piece of edge-glued pine that I got at the hardware store. I cut it to size. I replaced all the hardware. I painted all of the heater outputs black. I cleaned everything. I made curtains. I replaced the curtain rods. I put in a fruit bowl. I didn't put any fruit in it today because I'm not in the camper camping today. I just finished making this stove cover, which creates a little bit more counter space when you're cooking. And then the previous owners actually made these two covers for the sink, which I kept because I thought they were really nice looking. This is actually a spot that originally held a microwave. When I purchased the camper, there was no microwave, and I didn't really want one anyway, so instead of replacing the microwave, I cleaned up the outside of the cabinet here, and then I made pieces to fit on the inside, painted it white, and then made this into just kind of a shelf that you can use when you're camping to just throw your groceries up there, kind of an open pantry. In this shelf I have most of the dishes that we'll be using when we camp. Some people skip this when they renovate campers, but I painted the insides of my cabinets white as well. I also replaced the original faucet on the sink with one that I bought on Amazon. I did look locally first, but there was nothing good. And I used a plastic stick-on backsplash in a white with black trim subway tile. And I also used a really pretty wallpaper that I also bought online in kind of a mid-century inspired design. The stove was in great shape, so I just kept the original stove. In this spot up here, I also replaced a piece of carpet panel that was right here with a chalkboard, and I made this wooden trim also so that it would match. And I put in a hook for coats or purses. Down here on the side of the kitchen cabinet, I wanted this spot to be very functional, so I put in this little wire shelf right here, and this is where I put hand sanitizer and definitely keys. This is where I always put my keys. And then down below that we have a little spot for you to put your shoes. I would say the kitchen is my very favorite part of this renovation. I'm super happy with it, and I also really love this Bluetooth radio that the previous owners put in. Thank you, previous owners, you guys are the best. The very first thing that I did in this camper was to paint this wardrobe white, inside and out. This wardrobe provides a lot of storage space, which is nice. Below the wardrobe, there's another little cubby that I'm currently using to store extra thrifted decor items that I haven't decided whether to put up somewhere in the camper. And then on the bottom, there's a nice storage spot for shoes. So here's the part that I have not shown at all in any other video before because I just finished it. And when I say finished, I mean almost finished, because I do have one more project. But anyway, here's the 90% completed, cute as heck bathroom. I just love the way this bathroom turned out. I'm in love with this wallpaper, which I got from Amazon. Sorry. So it was like $8, of course. This round mirror is a big improvement over the old medicine cabinet, which looked super 90s and gross, like a lot of things in old campers do. And I added this little shelf for people to put toothbrushes in. Perhaps one of the best parts of the whole camper is this adorable sink. The faucet's from Amazon and the sink is from IKEA. It's their 15-inch sink. It was really easy to install. The surface here on the counter I cut to size and installed myself. The bottom of the cabinet I painted white and replaced the hardware. There's some nice storage under here too. In there I have a step stool for my toddler. If you can see on the floor, that's black paint. I decided to just paint the floor black because I really like the way black flooring looked, and I figured why install special black flooring? I think it looks really good. There's nothing wrong with oil rubbed bronze, but I did not want it in this camper, so this toilet paper holder I actually painted black so that it would match the rest of the camper. And then cute little vintage style trash can. And then here's what this side of the camper bathroom looks like. These two little drawings were actually drawn by my husband. Something about these, they just make me laugh, so I wanted to put them in the camper. Then over here I have a shelf. This shelf is very practical for putting towels and such in, but since we're not camping right now, I put a couple cute things in there for fun. This little basket that I put washcloths in is from a thrift store. And then extra hooks here for towels, and there are some hooks up on the other wall for towels as well. I replaced the curtain rod with a black tension rod, and I used these little clip rings to attach to it a piece of drop cloth, which is actually a really nice fabric and matches the dinette cushions that I recovered with drop cloth also. One of my last projects in here is to redo the shower walls. I did replace the tub, but I do want to do something with these shower walls because they're just kind of plain. Lastly, in the bathroom, I used a placemat as a bath mat, and I am feeling very clever because it was nice and small. Here's my beautiful sleeping area in the back. There's a full bed on the bottom with a memory foam mattress and then a twin-size bunk on top. My most recent video was all about how I redid the bunk area. I replaced a white vinyl trim that was in this spot with a piece of wooden trim. I replaced the curtain and curtain rod, painted the walls white, and then on the back wall I painted this semicircle in a golden yellow in a mid-century inspired design, and that's pretty much it. I painted the fridge black. It was this wood color, this fake wood color that the entire inside of the camper was covered with, and that had to go, so I had painted it yellow just to see if it looked good, but it just looked kind of garish to me. I like the yellow on the back wall much better than yellow here, so I went with painting it black. Sorry, Team Yellow. Okay, next let's go to the sofa area. I recovered the jackknife sofa with a canvas cover that I found at a thrift store, and I really liked the fabric. I also used that same terrazzo wallpaper as I did in the kitchen, painted the cabinets white, replaced the hardware, and I made a DIY basket light fixture as well. I learned a little tip that a space will seem bigger and prettier if you hang the curtains higher than the window. So I actually decided to move the curtains up a little bit, which means I needed to lengthen the curtains. So I took the opportunity when I was lengthening the curtains to spiff them up a little bit, and I added this fun little fringe on the bottom. So next I'll show you the dinette. Here's the dinette area. I talked a lot about this area in my dinette renovation video, but one big thing I did was I took a cabinet out that was right here and kind of making the whole place really claustrophobic. I ripped all that out and put in wood on this side here so that it was nice and clean, and I made a brand new dinette table out of the same edge glued pine that I used for the counter in the bathroom and for the kitchen counter as well. And of course painted everything white and put up this same wallpaper that matches the bathroom. But the dinette was one of the easier parts of the camper renovation for sure. I also recovered the cushions using nice new drop cloths. So there's a full-length twin bunk bed up here, which is nice if you have a lot of adults and teenagers who are using the camper. But other than that, it's actually really nice for storage because you could throw a couple suitcases up here if you wanted to. I should also mention that I did replace the floors with a peel and stick vinyl wooden flooring in the color pecan. Thank you so much for coming along with me on a tour of my renovated camper. It's been a really fun project, very time consuming. Like I said, it took about 4 months, and I do work at nap times while my toddler is asleep, and that's why it took so long. Just working a couple hours each day, twice a day, I guess. I do have a couple more projects to do. Like I mentioned, I need to do the walls in the shower. I also want to jazz up the outside a little bit. I'm happy with how the paint turned out, but it's also a little bit plain, so let me know if you have any ideas for what I could do to jazz up the outside.